Welcome to another episode of High Proof Ashes. I am one of your co-hosts, Jason JB Smoke. And of course, over to my right, I've got
Duran. No cool nickname, but again, y'all know what to do. We're going to keep saying it until it starts happening, right? Throw some nicknames in the comments. Let me know.
Yeah, until we get something, right?
Something, you know.
Yeah, well, some good ones, man.
Yeah.
But today, we've got
some special stuff today.
We do,
boy.
right? Look at Duran.
Woo!
Like,
Happy about this one.
Super excited.
Happy about this one.
So today we're going on the solo bourbon side, but it's a pretty special bourbon. And then on the cigar side, we'll talk about that one first. So what we have for you is something that is going to be extremely hard to find because they don't make it anymore.
Yeah.
Or at least they don't make this version of it anymore.
Right.
So this is the J.C. Newman Black Diamond. The original Black Diamond.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one that has the, what would you call that? Like purple and silver band, right?
I guess.
Because the new band, I think, is more like gold.
Yeah, yeah.
Gold and stuff like that. So this is the original, though.
Yep.
And,
made by Diamond Crown. So Diamond Crown Black Diamond, which is a J.C. Newman brand.
Correct.
So again, this, all of these have a specific size name, right? So I can't remember what this is. This
this is the Radiant. It actually says it on
that's
there.
It.
Yeah,
this
is the Radiant, and then the next one up is the Emerald, and the next one up, I can't remember the name of that one. But yeah, they essentially ran out of the leaf to make this, and so they made as much as they could and reblended it and came out with a new version of the Black Diamond, but it's not the same.
No.
And in our opinion, it's just not as good.
Yeah.
It's not a bad cigar.
No.
But it's just not as good as this one.
It's like once you've given the world this, the thing that they did after this.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's just not as good.
No.
But it's still a good cigar. So, if you've never had even the new one, go ahead and you should try it. It's also good.
Absolutely.
And then Duran has brought our bourbon for tonight. So why don't you
man.
Why don't you tell us about this little special offering you got it for us?
So this is the Good Times Neapolitan. It's one of my personal favorites. Like I had to go out and source another bottle of this because I liked it so much. So if you know anything about Good Times, all of their stuff is pretty much finished, right?
Right.
It's MGP juice, but it's one of the better MGP juices. Something else that you cannot get. So the Neapolitan, it's finished in strawberry brandy, cacao, and vanilla.
Yes.
We unfortunately don't know how old it is exactly, but again, if you see this anywhere, I am telling you, pick it up because it is a flavor bomb and it is an absolute treat, man. So happy to share this with my brother Jason and enjoy it with a cigar that you can't get as well. So we've got two things that we normally don't do. We're bringing you two things that you can't get your hands on.
Right.
But man, listen, they're both so great that just kind of got to do it.
Yeah, I mean, part of the journey and the podcast here is just bringing you different things, whether you can get them or not. And so, we can tell you about these things, but we always talk about other things too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm super excited to try this again. It's been probably 6 months since I've had this.
Okay.
So kind of remember what it tastes like, but I'm happy to taste it again.
Yeah. So other things about the bourbon, it comes in right under 120 proof. I believe it's right at 118. So it is a high proofer. We tend to enjoy those with high proof. Price point on this one comes in over 100. So if I'm not mistaken, it was 105 before tax.
Yeah.
So it was a more expensive bottle than normal. So, but I enjoy it quite a bit. Let us know what your thoughts are if you do find a bottle. But hey, I'm gonna go ahead and get cracking. Light this cigar up and then pour me a glass of bourbon, and we'll see what our thoughts are.
This is one of those things that like you don't do very often. You kind of pull something out of the vault, if you will.
Yeah.
And just because you want to have something nice today or what have you.
So
or special occasion, or
we both essentially went to the vault today, right? Like
Yeah.
he had to dig deep for the cigar.
Right. That's right.
And I had to go dig into the back of the cabinet to bring out the Neapolitan. So we're both definitely in for a treat here.
Yeah, let's get this thing going here.
Mm-hmm.
Devin.
Look at this. I'm looking like a rookie. There it is.
Oh boy.
And that's
something, isn't it?
Everything you want in a cigar right there.
Man. It's been a while since I've had one of these too, and I mean I'm talking several months. I was able to find a couple of boxes earlier this year, I think it was, and our group just pilfered one of those boxes.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm kind of happy to say I think I introduced you to this cigar.
Yeah, you did. You did.
So the roles are kind of reversed on this one. You had never had a Black Diamond, and I was like, dude, got to do this.
Yeah, I hadn't, and went out and found one, and boy, I'm glad I did, because this thing is just really, really good. And they are still out there in the wild. Mm-hmm. You can still find these. They're very hard to find again.
Well, surprisingly, with you being a veteran cigar smoker, what you'll find is a lot of people actually haven't had this cigar.
Right.
Like it's not a cigar. Like even in our peer group, right? There
Mm-hmm.
were only a few of us. Well, honestly, I think it was just me and Corey, maybe Drew,
maybe, yeah,
who had it prior to like us actually bringing it into the group and saying, "Hey, you need to try this."
Yeah, I think you're right. I think
so
you're right.
It's one of those cigars that, like, even though it's phenomenal, a lot of people have not had it. And it's just a great stick, man. Like,
yeah, and I think a big part of that is even when it was available, the availability of it and the price.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't exactly cheap.
No.
So and now this version of it, I think out in the wild, the last time I saw it, was $20. So, and that's just, again, because you can't find them anymore. So
yeah, I mean, it's an absolutely beautiful cigar, man. Like, you look at that dark Maduro wrapper, right? This beautiful band, like,
dude, I love this band.
It literally looks royal, right? Like, I almost want to say that might be like a royal purple back then.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You've got a crown on it, for a diamond crown, of course. So, like, this is a beautiful cigar. If you see it, it's going to catch your attention.
Yep.
Like,
all the silver and
yeah, just great looking cigar, and an even better tasting cigar.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the box is beautiful as well.
Absolutely.
That black, like lacquered,
absolutely,
box with the big huge raised crown on the top of it.
We probably should have sat the box out for this. Probably should have sat.
Yeah.
He'll put a picture up. He'll put a picture up so you can see the box, man. Like, when you see this cigar in the wild, like, the presentation makes you want to pick one up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously.
And the flavor on this thing is just, I can't emphasize the smoothness of this.
Yeah.
Like, it's not super strong, but it's super flavorful. So much flavor.
Let's see here. Get this bottle open. Cork is in there pretty good.
It's been a minute since it's gotten open. Huh?
Yeah, it has. There we go.
Yeah, so this one, it's got, like 4 different finishes on it. And so, from what I remember, you really can taste all 4 finishes.
Absolutely.
You can kind of pull them out.
Yeah, I'm not going to put it all the way back until you get you a little something. I mean, you can look at that color and just see, man, like, absolutely beautiful color on it.
Ooh.
I mean, the aroma is incredible.
And I love the label. It's like this hologram almost, reflective label to it. It's kind of neat. What we got here?
Ah, man. That's a delightful pairing, I'm not going to lie. Like, I even get a little, funny thing is like I even get like some honey in there too. So like you can taste a little bit of the strawberry, a little bit of the vanilla, you know. Then you get a little hint of honey and some caramel. Man, it's all over the place. Like, you talk about something that's extremely flavorful.
I think the experience of taking the swallow is interesting because like you get the initial just bourbon right off the bat, and then once you swallow and your palate just kind of, I don't know, normalizes, I guess, you start to get the flavor changing experience. Like it's kind of weird, you start with this flavor or that flavor, and it just kind of progresses through the different finishes. And I think that's very, very interesting. And the nice thing is it's not overly any of those finishes. No, it doesn't. It doesn't overwhelm you. Yeah, the finishes don't like ruin the experience of the bourbon itself, right? They all blend very well together and make a very enjoyable taste. Yeah, man. And that is a nice pairing. It's a nice pairing, right? Yeah, like the flavor notes of the cigar, man, wow. It's almost pulling the chocolate out. We might have hit one, bro. And that's a damn shame because you can't get either one of these. Like, I mean, you can. It's just ridiculously hard. Like, you could probably find this in some secondary groups if you really, really wanted to. Well, the bourbon was a pretty limited release, wasn't it? Yeah. Like, it wasn't like a nationwide release. No, not that I know of. I mean, they did put it out on their website, or, well, I don't know about their website, but they put it on their Instagram. So it looks like it dropped in some other places, like maybe Alaska was one of the other places I seen on the list. So, oh, wow. But again, I'm very happy it came to our area. Yeah, me too. Me too. And this cigar, I feel like every time I smoke it, it makes me want to go scour looking for another box. Yeah. Because the place that I bought these from, I bought their last 2 boxes. And so, and when the problem is because there's a new one, when you go searching for it online, you don't know if they're saying they have the new one or the old one. Old one, right. Yeah, because a lot of times they use the old picture. For the new cigar, unfortunately, yeah. Yeah. And so you have to call them and, basically have them go check their floor and see which one is it. Yeah, yeah. Again, I'm thrilled to share both of these with Jason because, like, the bottle is great, the cigar is great, and there's nothing better than being able to sit down with one of the homies and enjoy a good cigar and bourbon. And today we definitely went to the mountaintop. Yeah, we did. Man, I just retroed that thing. It's so good. God, it's so good. And I don't want to knock the new blend because the new blend is good. It's just that this one is so much better. Yeah. It's a shame that they ran out of the product or whatever that they unfortunately. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Like, I'm just savoring the taste of both. And it's so good, man. Like, literally so good. So let's talk about Good Times a little bit, huh? So, you said earlier that pretty much all the Good Times are MGP, but they finish it in some way, shape, or form, right? Right. And to my knowledge, they don't really have anything under $100. At least not around here, they don't. Not that I've seen. I don't believe so. But they do have a lot of stuff. Yeah. So Good Times drops, I would say, probably twice a month, right? Like, I don't know if it's that often, but they have a lot. Like, our local shop that we go to quite often, he's probably got 12 different bottles. Yeah. And that's just the normal stuff. Yeah, that's not the special stuff. Okay, so if you think about that, that's just this year. Yeah, I know. Because, so I can think off the top of my head. So you've got, in your cabinet, you've got... I have 3, now that you ask. Yeah. Right, so you've got 3. And all 3 of those dropped this year. They did. Right? So Creamsicle also dropped this year, which we didn't pick up, but it dropped. It did. I know there was another one that came out that I don't think we picked up, but
There's quite a few of them.
There are quite a few, yeah.
You know, so.
And then, of course, I picked up one here recently that just that it blew me away, like how good it was.
Because this one came out in February.
Yes.
So, you know, we're at least one a month. They're dropping one at minimum a month, and most months I want to say it's more than one. And
I'll tell you, the love for the brand is out there. Like there was one in particular that our local shop was going to get. I think he was getting half a barrel, if I recall correctly, and somebody from Knoxville called him up and pretty much bought his entire stock.
Mm-hmm. Was that the grape?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Like he bought like all but like 2 cases or something like that.
And so if I'm not mistaken, the grape was this year as well.
It was.
So, I mean, we've just named, you've got 3 in your cabinet, plus this, plus the creamsicle, which we didn't buy, the grape that I have. So that's 6. And we're in July.
And there's many more. I mean, there's
more because there was a honey.
There's a honey. There's the one that I have, which is like a Hawaiian honey toasted.
2 different vanillas.
2 different vanillas.
So I mean, I'm about twice a month.
I know it is a lot.
It's about twice a month.
And you know what's funny? I think there's a seagrass too. What's funny is like the profile on them is they're all over the place.
Yeah.
And so like just because you don't like one doesn't mean you're not going to like another one.
Right.
Because the base bourbon is really great.
Yes. I mean, again, MGP juice is something that I think they're really starting to strike the market. You know, like MGP just acquired Penelope back. Mm-hmm. You know, and we're big fans of the Penelope brand. So I look to see what they're going to do with that.
Oh, me too. And I told you, like, something I'm really interested that they're coming out with soon is a double toasted rye.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm very interested in that. But
I hate to see that, but
I just noticed you're not getting a
rough burn, man.
Yeah, which I'm not, and so probably because he's smoking too fast.
That's probably what it is, man. Like,
which is really hard not to do with this one because it is that good.
Here we go. I'm just gonna concentrate on bourbon for a second.
And you know, this is one of those ones, like, I don't know if you can tell. It's on the wrap, the cello, but I think this is like a 4.5 by 52.
Yeah.
You know, and like I tell you, man, anytime I see a cigar that I love that's like less than 5 long, like it's just like it's upsetting sometimes because it's just like I want more.
But this one, unfortunately, like
you
got to buy what you can get.
Yeah, this was the only one they had.
Yeah, so, you got to take it when you can find it.
Yeah. So what other cigars out there are like this, where like they don't make it anymore, or like do you have any that you can think of that you just really enjoy? That
Amazon Basin.
Ha! That's a good one.
The Amazon Basin.
Yeah.
The CAO Amazon Basin Extra Añejo.
Right. Which only comes out.
Excuse me, Añejo.
Yeah. Only comes out once every 3 years, or only can, like, because it takes that long to make it.
So that's another one. Like, as soon as you see it, you need to get your hands on as many as you can.
Yep. That's a good one to put on the list. But
what else? Other cigars that. So right off the top of my head, nothing else jumps out as like something that you don't see very often. I mean, there's ones I haven't tried. Like there's the Padron Fuente mashup.
Yep.
We haven't laid our hands on yet.
We have not. And I don't know if we will, just from an availability and a price standpoint. Yeah. Those things are going to be like $7,500 a pop.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I don't know, because like I think it's a box of 40 for like $5,000 or $6,000 or something. And
they're real.
Like, huh?
So you're talking probably somewhere around $250 a stick.
I mean, is that what the math does?
I think it was like $250 a stick when we did the math like months ago when we first heard about them. But we know that's a limited run, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, there's a lot of sticks out there that,
Yeah, and so like I'm not talking about limited run stuff. I'm talking about where they just, maybe they discontinued it. Like Like Drew Estate just recently discontinued a bunch of their brands.
Really?
Like, yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. So
Which
like,
ones did they
so
discontinue?
they're not gone, but they discontinued them. The Undercrown Sungrown,
Really?
yeah. The KFC Sweets.
Okay.
So with the KFCs, I actually like the sweets, and so they announced it, and I've bought. They come in little 10-pack Mazzos, right? They don't come in a box. So I have bought three of those since they announced that they were going to be discontinued. So
and that's the one with the sweet like tip on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is it? Aren't they discontinuing the La Routons as well? I think. So the one that used to be, so they used to call it the Natural.
Yeah.
And then they reversed the name, and so La Routon, which is a cigar that I actually used to recommend to people because it's made from pipe tobacco. So it's got like Turkish tobacco, various exotic, pipe tobaccos. And it's just a really, really smooth tasting cigar. And I guess it just hasn't been selling well, or it could be they're having trouble getting those tobaccos.
Okay.
And so they're going to just sell the stock they have, and that's it.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Again, you guys know we're Drew Estate fanboys, so anytime that we can get our hands on something Drew Estate, we're pretty much in.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But I can't think of anything else that like was in regular production at some point that is not now that I would just love to have. But if you guys have something that kind of fits that criteria, put it in the comments. I'd like to know some of the things that used to be a regular thing for you, and they just don't make it anymore.
Yeah. And again, if you run across our podcast and you see something that we haven't tried, that you haven't seen on the podcast yet, and you'd like to hear what we think about it, drop that in the comments too. Because I mean, we're not above trying out new things, and that's one of the things we do on the podcast quite often is in comparison to Jason, not saying like I'm a rookie cigar smoker or anything like that. I smoke a lot of cigars. I just I am not the guy that branches out and tries a lot of new things,
right.
Unless a friend recommends it to me. So if you've got something that you think I might enjoy, drop it in the comments. Let me know. We'll smoke it and see.
I'm all about trying new cigars. The big thing right now is all these like limited runs, right? A lot of these manufacturers are doing limited runs to kind of drive.
I think it's just my day, dude.
Looks that way, because mine is straight. But they're doing it to drive business and demand and all that kind of stuff, and try to get people to buy boxes and while they can and that sort of thing. But I love it when a brand comes out with something that's just really good, and then they just put it in regular production.
Yes.
The last one I can think of that I've had that did that was the Alec Bradley double broadleaf.
Those were very good.
Like
now, you and Jill bought a box of those, right? Or did you just get the broadleaf?
No, we each bought a box.
Okay.
Like the lounge did a cut and light, and so we were able to get some swag and other free stuff. But I really enjoy that cigar. It's just a really, really good, strong, full flavor cigar. And it was something experimental at one point with Alec Bradley.
Right.
And I guess it did well with audiences, and they put it in regular production.
I'll tell you, recently I'm really getting into Perdomo.
Dude, right?
Like, they're coming on strong for me, bro.
Man, I had a Lot 23 Sungrown not that long ago.
Great, right?
Holy hell. And I love Sungrown. And like, man, it was so good. So good. Like, the lounge, they had those 3 boxes of Lot 23s. They're out.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yeah, I went in there the other night and tried to pick up a few on Wednesday, and they were already,
Yeah.
So, and that's another cigar I think we've got to find and get on the podcast.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's going to be one we definitely need to bring to you guys. But hell, I'm interested in any brands that we haven't touched, right? So like we've had a few Perdomos now at this point on the podcast, and like, so
Find us a Gurkha.
Right? Oh my goodness.
Find us a good Gurkha. If you've got a Gurkha recommendation, let me know. Right? Because not trying to be rude, dude, but you know, I haven't found one that I'm partial to.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, I've had one or two that were passable, but like
I haven't had that.
Like passable isn't something that I want to go out and look for.
Right.
You know, like when you smoke cigars, you want to smoke something that is you're going to really enjoy it.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's one thing to try something for the first time, you know, a new experience and all, but like once you've had it, if it's not something that is just blowing you away or, you know, something of that nature, like you're just not going to buy it again.
Agreed.
You know, and I'm with you with the Gurkhas. Like no Gurkha has impressed me enough to ever buy it again.
No.
You know, and I'm not saying that Gurkha is not worth buying. It just, I haven't found one for me that's worth buying.
Nope.
So if you've got something out there that is, I'm going to say that's reasonably priced, because boy, there are some expensive Gurkhas out there.
Oh, well, yeah.
Like I'm talking ridiculous.
Ridiculous? Like how ridiculous?
Like over $100.
Oh God, no.
Yes. You know, so we're talking reasonably priced. You know, we're talking under 20. Let's just put it that way, right? I really want to spend less than that, but let's just say under 20.
My number was like 15, but
yeah,
you know,
under 20, that is, you know, that's a good cigar. That would be something that I would buy again.
This is just
actually went out.
Well, maybe you were having problems and you just didn't know it.
I think I just put it down for too long because I was smelling the bourbon and tasting it and
like I'm getting a new flavor from this that I don't think I've gotten in the past. Like I'm getting some oakiness from this that I didn't used to get. So I don't know if it's the evolution of my palate or what, but
it's definitely transitioned, because earlier it was this, just the best way I can describe it is just a silky smoke. Like it was just creamy, it was silky, and now it's kind of lost that creaminess, and I'm kind of with you. It's this oaky, cedary kind of, you know, forest sort of taste in your mouth, smell, taste kind of going on. And you know, the interesting thing with these is like I'm not going to smoke these very often, so they're essentially going to age. Yeah. And like
it's like brand new all over for me again.
I know, right?
Like it's been that long since I've had one that it's pretty much like smoking a cigar I've never had again. So,
and it's come up in conversation with us bringing it to the podcast before.
Yeah.
But we've just, you know, moved on to something else, whatever. And you know, when Duran pulled this out, I was like, well, that's a bottle we can't get. So how about we pull out a cigar we can't get, and you know, we'll do a funny episode of
the things you can't get.
Things you can't get. You know, I know it seems cruel, but
but hey, man, like I'm sure that there are other people out there that have things just as well that we can't get, right?
Right.
Like, I mean, there are bourbons out there that I would love to bring to you on the podcast that one, I'm not willing to spend the money on, or it's just, you know, that hard to find, you know. So, yeah, today was a good day. I mean, any day I get to drink, you know, Good Times Neapolitan and smoke a phenomenal stick like the Black Diamond.
Right.
Man, listen, you know.
Great day. Great day. Glad to have you over, man.
No, I appreciate it, bro. You know, so the thing is like, even if we weren't doing a podcast, this is still what we would absolutely be doing. Like, you know, hanging out, smoking cigars, drinking bourbon. Like, this is normal life for us. Like, it's not out of the ordinary. So you're just getting an inside look at, you know, what we do on a daily basis.
Yeah. So what else you got planned for the weekend, man?
This weekend? So I've got a birthday party for my nephew. He just turned 6.
Okay.
So we went and picked up some gifts this morning. He wanted some very, like, particular gifts. We weren't able to find exactly what he asked for. He was like, he wanted a Pikachu water gun.
Okay.
And that's like I don't know where you get that at. So we like Googled it, tried to find it, and we couldn't find one that existed. So, we went to Walmart, got him a water gun, and he wanted some Legos, so we got some Legos. So we've got that today, but hopefully tomorrow, it's pretty much nothing. Hopefully, like
All right.
How about yourself?
I think we're gonna just continue with the kind of the organizing and the purging and cleaning things up. I'd love to get outside and do some work around the yard and stuff, but it's been so hot and so humid. The heat isn't so bad, it's the humidity. Like we just here we don't get that, usually we don't get that high humidity, and it just saps your energy, man.
Yeah, because you told me you told me earlier today, you was like, it feels like you're back in Louisiana. Like,
dude, right? Yes.
The humidity is so high.
It's ridiculous. Like, I think yesterday the heat index was 105,
which is crazy.
Like, and that's because of the humidity.
Yeah.
Like the temperature is not that high, but the humidity is just, when you walk out the door and your glasses fog over, like, it's going to be miserable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the deal. Like, and so I told the wife, I was like, whatever we're going to do, we just need to stay inside. Yeah. I'm not dealing with that out there.
And for you guys that don't know, we're in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So like, not crazy as far as heat goes, but it gets warm, but recently the humidity has been a little nasty.
Little unusual.
Yeah.
It doesn't usually get this high. So just a bit much. Like one of the reasons we moved away from Louisiana was to get away from that humidity.
You didn't move far enough.
Like, seriously. Well, I guess we didn't move like west enough, right?
Yeah.
But I like green. I like the color green.
Yeah.
I'm a little partial to it, and the further west you go, the less green you get.
That's very true.
So,
I mean, like, I guess you can say that east too, because I'm from New York. Well, the part of New York I'm from, like concrete jungle.
That's just urbanized, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I'm talking about, like, you start getting into like Texas and New Mexico, man, and like they don't even have like yards, like, because nothing grows. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Mad love to you folks out there. I mean, I spent some time in New Mexico, and the nights there were absolutely gorgeous. Like, I mean, super low humidity. The heat goes way down.
Yeah.
It's the middle of summer, and it's 70 degrees and 20% humidity. Like,
that sounds like the perfect day,
dude. It's amazing.
Yeah,
like, you don't even want to go inside. But the daytime is just ridiculous. So hot. But yeah, it's a little too dry out there. Not enough rain. It's just barren almost.
I'm trying to think of, like, I'm getting this new flavor profile from this that I just really want to try to describe, and I can't figure out what it is that I'm getting, man. Like, I've even tried to retrohale it, and it just...
But one of the difficult things is, like, you've had the cigar before, but it's been so long, and you're almost trying to remember, like, what is it supposed to taste like?
Exactly. I feel like we haven't said it in a couple of episodes, so
oh yeah,
of course, hydrate when you're
definitely
drinking, smoking. Make sure you do your part,
especially when it's 105 heat index outside.
Absolutely. So drink responsibly, hydrate, all that good stuff, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you know when we drop new episodes, man. Like, we're dropping weekly on Sundays.
Yep.
So recording regularly, trying to bring you content on a regular basis, give you our insight on bourbons and cigars. We are not professionals by any means, but two guys that enjoy both cigars and bourbon and good spirits in general, because we've got some things coming up where we're going to do wine.
Right.
We're going to do beer. We're going to do some on-location stuff, bring in some guests. So we've got a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline, man. Y'all just stay tuned and stay with us. Like, we appreciate those that are rocking in and who have subscribed up to this point. Bring your friends, tell them about us.
Definitely.
All right?
Yep.
So we're getting close to the end here. What's your final thoughts, man?
Yeah, you're right. Man, the cigar, like, this is a treat.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those rare treats that you pull something out of the vault. And I'm blessed to be able to have a cigar vault. You know, and it's not nearly as big as some other folks. You know, we have some friends out there that,
Yeah.
you know, they have a lot.
Yeah.
You know, they have a very big vault. But super happy to pull this out of the vault and, you know, and share it with you again.
Absolutely.
How about yourself?
Man, like again, you know, the Neapolitan is one of my favorites, right? Like I don't go to it every day because I can't get it, but you know, it's nice, like you said, to pull it out, share it, and bring it to the folks and let them see it, and hopefully you might run across it somewhere if you do pick it up. But the cigar is just absolutely phenomenal, man. Like the Black Diamond is one of those that smokes above its price point.
Yeah, because I think these were like $13.
Yeah, so I would gladly pay more for it, especially if I could get them all the time. But unfortunately, they, like you said, they're discontinued, not making them anymore. The new ones out there, give it a shot, see what you think about it, let us know. But ultimately, like I said, I'm on my ice cube. Today was a good day, you know, rocking like that.
But, and I want to say just one more thing about the Good Times. Like, if you haven't had any Good Times, I welcome you to go to one of your local liquor stores, you know, and see what kind of spread they have.
Yeah.
And, you know, give them a try. Or, you know, maybe you've got some friends that collect, you know, maybe they have some Good Times that you can try. Because they are a little pricey. But if you haven't tried the brand, I definitely welcome you to try the brand. Because they've got some pretty interesting stuff out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But with that, I guess let's wrap it up.
All right, man. Well, y'all know what it is. I'm Duran, no cool nickname. Y'all supposed to drop them in the comments, so get busy, do your thing. And as always, my co-host.
I am Jason JB Smoke. And thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you on the next one.